Yeah, Still City Sports. Roll back at you. Your host, Luther Dupree. Joined as always, I got my man Smoking Jim. Fillmore Bub is in the house. I got to get these links out. But what's going on, fellas? How you feel, Fillmore? What's going on with you?
Oh man, I feel pretty good, man. It's a good day for a Wednesday, always.
Always, always. What's up, Jim? How you feel?
I thought the show started at 10 tonight. Calling in a little late.
10. We finish at 10. We finish at 10, bruh.
Never knows it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 9, 10.
Oh my gosh, Jim. All right. It's Wednesdays at 9 o'clock, man. I got to get this link because it's showing it's private instead of public. So I got to switch that out. Smoking Jim. So since we got you, what do you have on your mind? What's going on in Smoking Jim's world first and 10?
Well, I took a lot of heat. I'm the first one on the planet that said, for me, if I was the Pittsburgh Steelers, for me, the next coach would be Mike Mularkey. For my Mike McCarthy, excuse me.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, straighten that up.
Yeah.
That sounds like a bunch of malarkey.
Where to go back? But the reason is, number one, Mike McCarthy, the winner. He's the second winningest coach in Green Bay history next to Curly Lambeau. They named his stadium after him, and he got more wins than Vince Lombardi. So this is a guy that's always been able to build a staff. He had 4 coaches off the coaching tree that went on to be head coaches in the National Football League. Offensive guru. And again, when you have nobody in the building who's ever hired a head coach as GM or owner, as Kevin Colbert was in on the Mike Tomlin hire, I just thought Mike Mularkey could bring that offense in. Because of that, I think he's the only coach that can get Aaron Rodgers to play one more year. He's the only quarterback on your staff right now. And I never thought the offense last year fit Aaron Rodgers' talent. So Mike McCarthy will bring in an offense that him and Rodgers can flourish in for a season. Listen, the ownership already said, Luther and Fulmore, that they're not interested in anything but winning. So if you're going to, you have to bring in a winner. Don't start off with somebody that you don't know if they can get the job done. And because this team is not care about losing games. They want to win. They want to win Super Bowls right now. So I think the way I would go.
Okay.
Mike McCarthy. Okay. You kept saying Mularkey. And for those that aren't familiar with Mike Mularkey, he was the offensive coordinator when Cordell Stewart was the quarterback.
Right.
So we're going back a ways with a bunch of malarkey.
right. Hey, what you got for us, man? I want to address that. What you got for us, Fillmore?
So, new Penn State coach Matt Campbell. He's trying to right the wrongs of the previous regime and doing something that Pitt refuses to do. And that is recruit from Pittsburgh. Okay, for some reason, Pitt don't want to do it, but Matt Campbell said, you know what? I'm going to right the wrongs of the previous regime, and I'm going to get former decommitted McKeesport native 5-star running back Keemon Spell back. It's been reported that Keemon Spell will now visit Penn State this weekend for a potential signing. So that's what we're trying to do. Keep him committed for 2027 class, because we can't forget Keemon has another year of high school before we go to Penn State. So Matt Campbell, he's trying to get back on board. He's trying to put Penn State back on the map, and he's trying to build through Pittsburgh, man. Shout out to Matt Campbell.
Okay. I like that. All right. You think he got a chance to get him?
If he's there this weekend, especially after decommitting, after James Franklin got fired righteously, man, it's right there. If you can get one 5-star, you can get another.
Okay.
They follow each other. They follow. They're like, "Oh, you going? Okay, I'm going."
Hey,
That they follow each other like that.
yeah. I saw a post with him and Gabe Jenkins. All were looking at it. So,
Yep.
we got to see. Listen, man, I'm still kind of upset about Tomlin not being here. And I don't like all the slander. Can a man just leave without the slander? I mean, is this Cordell Stewart part 2?
Oh man,
It's out of control, man. Listen.
hey, you know what, Luther? I remember those days back in the '90s when that happened, and I gotta tell you, when I used to go to the Bill Cowher press conferences, one time the Roonies came out and actually told us at the one before the press conference started with Bill Cowher to watch what we're doing with this, because it was an internet rumor, whatever it was that they were saying. It was all
that was before the internet.
That was kind of before the internet. It just started.
Word of mouth, and it just caught wind. But listen, man, Tomlin. Listen, all the revisionist history. He was a great coach. I mean, James Harrison is out here leading the way. James Harrison, there's a reason you weren't a coach. He didn't want you choking out players and doing all that stuff. There's a reason you got traded. We had a young T.J. Watt.
Did you hear the Najee Harris thing?
So
Najee Harris is saying that he was going to get out. Yeah.
Hold on, Ralph. Yeah, Najee Harris told him, if you were my son, I would tell you to leave. So he was always straight up and upfront with everything. So, it was just a different thing, man. It's just a whole lot going on. Hold on, let me reset something. A lot of people are saying they weren't able to see it. But hold on. Got it. But I just want people to understand. Listen, he's been to 2 Super Bowls, won 1. He's won 8 AFC North titles. Stop all this. You're going to have a new coach. You'll get your wish. But don't slander the man's reputation. Don't slander this man. He did his job. And he tied Chuck Noll 193. Let him go into the Hall of Fame. And guess what? You'll get to see him on TV over and over again. So I'm excited about that. Kudos to Mike Tomlin. Kudos to everybody on the coaching staff. Right now, they're still on their coaching hunt. I still think it's going to be Chris Shula. I think that's who they're going to look for. Young. They can grow with him. Look for him to come in. I know there was talk about Brian Flores and Smoking Jim's guy. I don't see it. I don't see McCarthy coming in. I just can't. I'm not saying he won't, but I don't. I think it's a 3-man race. Flores just signed to be the defensive coordinator with Minnesota again if he doesn't get a head coaching job. So that was very interesting. Surprised that he would do it. I thought he was still in the running for the Steelers, still in the running for the Ravens. But maybe
he didn't rule it out. So it's either head coach. It's head coach or bust. So it's like either there's no lateral move. So if they hire Mike McCarthy, they're not bringing him in as a DC. He's like, no, I'm gonna be back. Either I'm a head coach or I'm back at DC with Minnesota.
Right. And the thing is, do you agree with that?
Yes.
I don't know. Listen, did he have to take that route? I don't think he needed to, but it is what it is. We'll see how it plays out. It's starting to look like he's not going to get a head coaching job from what I could see. So we got to see how it all.
Doesn't he still have that lawsuit against the NFL though?
It's still going on. So I don't know how.
So there's not too many teams that's going to touch that. The Steelers are only ones brave enough to touch that.
Well, the Minnesota Vikings had him as a defensive coordinator, and the Steelers,
DC, but now the head coach though, they're not going to let him be the face of the team.
Yeah, I was wondering how that was going to work out. So it don't look like it's working out too good. But I think he would have been the right guy for a team like the Baltimore Ravens.
Perfect, yeah.
Perfect, because they're ready to go. He's a veteran. He doesn't take any mess, and I think that would have been the right move for them. But didn't happen. We'll talk more and more about it as we go on. But exciting news, man. Exciting news. Make sure you give us a call. Let me get that number. We had some issues. It wasn't running on YouTube earlier, but we got those fixed. So make sure you give us a call, 412-530-5063.
Sorry I was late, Luther. I was on in Tennessee with a guy. He wanted me on to talk about Mike Tomlin. So.
Everybody, the hottest topic is Mike Tomlin.
Burning my phone up, man.
Yeah. His legacy strong, despite everybody trying to throw shade. 193 wins, 1 Super Bowl. He's going to the Hall of Fame, whether you like it or not. Let's hope the next.
Saturday, Luther, I came clean. I said, look, I beat him up for 5 years. I did. I really beat him up, and he was a good coach, and he regular season wins most of any of any head coach. I mean, I beat him up, So
right. But let's jump into this. We're going to talk about the coaches, then we're going to go into the college game and this playoff predictions real quick. Well, I know where you stand, Smoking Jim, but what are your thoughts about a Chris Shula, who I think has the inside track? I think if the Rams lose, he'll be getting announced next week that he is the next coach of the Steelers. Jim, your thoughts on a Chris Shula?
Well, first of all, I got so much respect for you guys over the years. Because when people used to say, get rid of Mike Tomlin, every one of you guys' answer is, who are you going to get to replace? Now that the white media done threw out a couple of names, you guys would know Kubiak if he walked down the street butt naked in Homewood. If Shula get into an Notre Dame girl family, he have to pay like everybody else. Hey, look here. Crapshoot. Marty Schottenheimer told me one time, he said, listen, you don't know until they do it. You know what I mean? I asked him about Bill Cowher. He said, I had a lot of coaches I thought would be good head coaches, but you never know until they do it. Hey, listen, you guys were on the right track with Flores. He would be good for Baltimore. He would stay here in Pittsburgh. I would go with, if I don't have the experience, and we know the farm man ain't nothing but a numbers cruncher, and Rooney really don't like football.
Right. And Weidell's about to go.
With a proven winner, forget Chris Shula. Listen, his grandfather was gone, but his dad was David Shula. How did his daddy do at Cincinnati? Come on, man.
Sometimes it skips. Hey, Jim, sometimes it skips a generation. You know about that.
Yeah.
Just like his daddy is doing. Daddy got fired from Cincinnati, and he was the head chef at one of Shula's steak restaurants. Come on, man. Don't ask me about these guys that'll come in here, man. And
you just want an old senior citizen. I told you on Sports Corner. You want an old senior citizen.
He wants Signetti. That's what he wants.
Right.
And here's the last thing. And Fulmore will back me up on this because we agree a lot.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
These idiots on 93.7 The Fame.
That's right. That's right, Smoking Jim. You tell him. That's right.
They said if you bring in Shula, he'll bring in the black offensive coordinator, right?
Schoolies, yeah.
First of all, you're going to leave Los Angeles to come to Pittsburgh for a lateral move.
No, it wouldn't be a lateral move for him. He's the passing game coordinator. He'd be the offensive coordinator with the Steelers, Jim. Come on. That is not a lateral move. That's an upgrade. That's a promotion.
If he's the passing coordinator, it must be just a token interview. I thought he was okay, passing coordinator.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. That would be a promotion.
Exactly.
Yeah, to leave Los Angeles.
Hey, listen, you there's only 32 coaching jobs. You know what I'm saying? And there's just a few more, offensive coordinator jobs than that. So you take it when you can. There's 32 offensive coordinators.
There's 9 openings because everybody keeps hiring Kubiak and Shula. You know what I mean? You can't keep doing that, bro. You got to get somebody that knows what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, look.
You never know. I mean, people didn't know Mike Tomlin until he came in here and won it. You know, he was a defensive coordinator with the Vikings for 1 year.
And Pittsburgh went the first 40 years without having a winning season. Because you never know. I want to know. I know what I'm getting with McCarthy. I don't want to know.
What, you know you're getting fired? You know you're getting fired after 3 years? Like he got fired at Green Bay and underachieved? Like he got fired with the Dallas Cowboys and underachieved? That's what you got for him, Jim.
3 seasons in Dallas at 12 and 5. 3 seasons in Dallas at 12 and 5, and his team always led the NFL in passing.
And they got this, and they got the same result as Mike Tomlin, one and done in the playoffs.
Hey, Luther, here's something I want to bring up here. Okay, here's the fear.
Ralph, hold on. Let him finish, Ralph.
Let him finish.
Here's the only difference between McCarthy and Mike Tomlin. You know, Tomlin's a Hall of Famer, no shade. But McCarthy will build his staff well enough. When McCarthy steps away, you can hire and promote a guy from his staff. That's huge, man. That's huge.
Okay. All right, Jim. No, you got a lot of time. So we got a Big Rome text us up. I'm gonna put his thing up. Go ahead, Ralph, and then Fillmore jump in.
Here's what I fear with Chris Shula. Take a look at the Mike McDaniel situation down in Miami. All those veterans sold him out. They all went to ownership and complained, okay? You get somebody as young as Chris Shula in there, you don't know what these veterans and how they're going to react to this guy. You understand what I'm getting at? And, you know, that's my fear if you hire somebody like that. I agree with Smoke and Jim. I'd rather have a Brian Flores, somebody who's kind of like a whip cracker, bring him in here a little bit and, you know, and get some things going here. At least Brian Flores has a little bit of a pedigree with what's going on. And Jesse Minter wouldn't be too bad. I would bring Mike McCarthy in, not as a head coach, but as a assistant head coach and an offensive coordinator. That way he can guide a young coach, or Flores could bring him in to help him out a little bit there as well. That would be a dream team. But, you know, like I said, the fear I have with somebody like Chris Shula, or somebody like that pass game coordinator, I can't even pronounce his name, from the Rams. The problem I have with one of them guys is a Mike McDaniel situation down in Miami. Take a look at that. Last couple of years, the veterans sold him out.
No, well, what happened? What sold him out was Tua. Tua couldn't stay healthy. He didn't have an arm, and he's not an NFL quarterback. That was the main reason. I still think he can call offensive plays.
He's a good offensive coordinator, no doubt about it. I'd hire him.
Being a team, I don't know. You know, some of his press conferences weren't very impressive.
No.
So, you know, yeah. So I'm not sure about that. So
yeah. Bensman here says that Jesse Minter might be taking a job at Baltimore. So we'll see.
Yeah, I did hear that. I did hear that. I don't know why they're taking so long to hire a coach either.
I heard Arthur Smith's taking the Cleveland job.
Nobody wants to. Mike McDaniel turned down the Cleveland job.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, that was
coordinator with the Chargers. So
Chargers, yeah. I had to put that in there. I just did.
All right, go ahead, Fillmore. What you got on this?
I think one thing y'all missing is the way that the Steelers have always hired coaches. They're not looking for an X's and O's guy at the helm. Looking for a leader and a strong communicator. That's how they always done it. They're looking for someone to be a liaison between the players and the front office. That's what they're looking for. They're not looking for someone to do a huge upheaval of the organization and change the 3-4 to a 4-3 and go to a run and shoot. Not looking for someone that's an offensive genius, Kyle Shanahan. Not looking for that. If they hired Chris Shula, it's because he can communicate and he can lead these guys. That's what you think Tomlin did when he came in with a veteran-laden team. He was a leader and a communicator. That's what he came in on. So that's what they're looking for now. As I agree with half of what Jim said. So if they do have Chris Shula, they're going to. I hope he would bring the offensive the pass coordinator, because we have a young Will Howard who needs tutelage, and the best way to help a young quarterback like that is with a quarterback whisperer, a la Bruce Arians. That's what you would need for that. So I'm okay with that, right? I'm okay with that, and the fact that he is a defensive minded coach, but not just for defense, but the toughness. They want to still have the toughness. A head coach brings in culture, and they want him to bring in his tough culture and the Steeler culture. They're not hiring someone to make a change. They're hiring someone to maintain.
Exactly. I like what you said, and I like what you posted on Facebook. Like you said, when Tomlin got here, he didn't bring in his whole staff. He was the head coach, but Bruce Arians was in place. Dick LeBeau was in place. And that's how the Steelers operate. Pensman said there is nobody out there like that. We need someone to rebuild the system and change the standard. That's not going to happen. Whoever comes in, they're not going to change the system. And I think you heard it from Art Rooney II. They're not looking to rebuild. They want to still compete, no matter who they bring in. So he's gonna have a little say, but like you said, Fillmore, the owner chooses the coordinators, and he like to promote from within.
Exactly.
It's been that way for years, And I think if Chris Shula gets it, I think that's kind of how it's going to be. He may be able to bring in a passing game coordinator, but I think, like you said, and you posted, you're going to bring in guys that's going to follow the system. You're not going to change the system. Their standard is the standard, and they run the team. That's why like you said, his coaching tree is not that big, because they promote from within.
Exactly.
Your system, or you get good or get gone, period. Hey, we got the Underground in the house, man. What's up, Underground? Appreciate you checking in, man. You had a great show yesterday. Check them out. Underground Sports is in the house. Hey, number to call, 412-530-5063. Listen, tell us what you think about these coaching choices. Smoking Jim wants to go old school and said he wants Mike McCarthy, who was fired at Green Bay and Dallas. And that's not going to happen. I would like Brian Flores, but he has no chance. The Steelers aren't going to hire two black coaches back to back. That's guaranteed. I think it's between Chris Shula and Kubiak from Seattle, but I think Chris Shula definitely has the end. If you remember, a whole month ago, they reported that the Steelers had interest if Mike Tomlin left and Chris Shula. So this is something that's been in play for months, Jim. And I think, it's following the script. So, hey, we'll see what happens. We got Pensman in here again. What you saying, Pensman? He said, just hire Brian Flores. And it's not going to happen. I don't think he's getting a head coaching spot. If that was the case, I thought there were two chances, Baltimore maybe or Pittsburgh. And if he didn't get those, he was not going to get a head coaching spot. And it appears that he's not getting either one of those jobs. And that's why he signed to be with the defensive coordinator of Minnesota if he doesn't get one. To me, it seems like he knows he's not getting it. That's what I say. But we'll see. But I would like Brian Flores, but there's no chance it's happening, Pensman. I don't believe so. Listen, let's jump into
that's who I want too, Luther. I want Brian Flores.
I would like that. I don't see that happening. Listen, man, let's talk about the championship game. Indiana completes the dream season, 16-0. Jim, you took another L on that. Just wanted to make sure you knew it. Accepted that L. What were your thoughts about that game, Jim, as you were watching your choice go down again? I know you had heavy money on Miami, and, well, you lost that money. What did you think about that game, Jim?
Yeah, I should have bet the spread. Getting 8 points. They only lost by 6. But, hey, there was no way I thought Miami would the game. I took an L on that. I thought Miami would be too fast. I thought that they would be an intimidator. But I underestimated the fan base of Indiana. I didn't know they would take over Miami Stadium. I thought it was a home game for Miami. I thought Miami would have all the fans there, and it would be an easy victory. I didn't know that number 87 on the punt team would have been scared to block the big man, and then he block a punt to win the game. All he had to do was stick his nose at his chest, but he was scared to hit him. But look here, man. Indiana is good. I'm happy, even though I lost a ton of money. Boomer, I lost a lot of money, brother.
No, you don't go against Indiana. They were a team of destiny, Jim, and all their players were 30. So, you know, I'll take a good 30-year-old that's a 3-star that has all his grown man strength, you know, that's not partying the night before and not throwing punches after the fight over a couple talented 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds. And that's what played out. Kurt Signetti, you know, he has the game plan right now. You know, he had him rolling at JMU, and now he got him rolling at Indiana. Get a bunch of old transfers that have talent, coach them up, and you're right in the mix. You know, he's showing it time and time again. But Miami, the U is back. The U is back, but you can't win when you have a basic quarterback like Carson Beck. You know, that's the issue. Carson Beck, I knew when the game was on the line, I said, he's throwing a pick. There's no way he's going to take him down and score. I was shocked that he did it against Ole Miss, but I knew in the championship he would fold. Fletcher looked like a young Derrick Henry back there, upset that he threw a punch afterwards. And I found out the guy was talking about his dad. As you know, Fletcher's dad passed away last year. No need for that. It's just a game. You don't talk about somebody's dead parent. And I was upset when I saw him throw the punch, but he deserves it. But, man, you got to give it up to Mendoza, man. That touchdown, 4th and 5, diving into the end zone, getting hit like that, very impressive. He's going to be the number 1 pick, you know, even though he does speeches like he's giving a Martin Luther King speech every time he talks. I mean, I'm like, he just sits in the mirror like Smoking Jim and practices speeches. But, you know, it is what it is. Jim, Jim, you already accepted your L. Ralph, Fillmore, your thoughts?
Hey, I'm gonna share that L with Jim. But go ahead, Ralph. I'm gonna share my L. I picked Crack Irvin. Was on Perk Irvin.
Well, I took Indiana, and I knew their momentum was going to carry them into this game, and I knew they were dominant in this game, and they did. And but I got to give Miami a lot of credit because they stuck around, and you know, despite the mistakes and some of the other stuff that was going on, they stuck around, and it was a good game. It was good to watch. It wasn't a slaughter like that game a few years back. What was it, Alabama against TCU or whatever it was there?
Oh, that was ugly.
Yeah. Oh, that was just downright ugly. And Fillmore, but yeah, like I said, that was a very interesting, exciting game to watch. And you know, it was great to see Kurt Signetti get his national championship. Indiana is back on top, and we'll see where they go from here.
Back on top. I think that's their first one, man.
Yeah, they never been on top.
Yeah, they.
Well, no, but I mean, they are on top. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, there you go. They're on top. They have more losses than anybody.
I meant to say they are on top.
Yeah, yeah.
Look, they ain't been on top since Hoosiers.
Yeah, right. Right.
That was the last time. Number 1 in the box office.
Bobby Knight, man. I got one of the funniest memes. I saw Michael Irvin running. You got Bobby Knight, Fernando Mendoza in the car. Man, I was cracking up when I saw this. But Pensman said, take the L, Jim. Yes, take the L. Pensman, we got to get you back on the show, man. Call in if you get a chance. Hey, but we do have somebody on the line. We got my man Sean is in the house. Sean,
yeah. Hey, yo, Sean calling at the bottom of the hour now with 5 minutes left. I love it.
All right, Sean, what's on your mind? Did you recover yet from Miami taking that L, Sean?
Well, you know my job, I oversee traffic for Ohio. Give me a second, guys.
All right.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
All right. Why he's doing that, man?
I'm back.
Okay. That was a quick. That was really
that was a real second.
Real second. All right, go ahead, Sean.
you know, I oversee traffic for Ohio Department of Transportation. I was working a double, so I'm gonna be honest with you. I was tired watching the game because, like, I came home, I got off at 1. I had to go to sleep because I got to be back to work the next day at 9 and 5 a.m. and trying to watch that game and trying to get rest. I was just tired, so Like my daughter even said, "Daddy, you ain't even like." Like, I was loud on the other games, but it was just, I guess, age is starting to catch up with you. You got to just take your body easy, and I'm just happy. Everybody knows Penn State's my alma mater. I root for them, but everybody knows me and my twin brother are squads, Miami Hurricanes of football. Right. I'm just glad that they're where they should be. They should be competing for national championships.
Absolutely.
And Mario Cristobal, this is why he left Oregon. He's from Miami. He went to high school, played football with Fernando Mendoza's father at Christopher Columbus High School down there in Miami. And he got 2 national championships as a player in Miami. And I think he may have had one of the assistant, but he knows what it takes. And he brought the program back. I'm happy for Indiana winning it. 3 Big Ten schools won it in a row. Michigan, Ohio State. A lot of people thought it was going to be Penn State this year, but Indiana won it. They earned it. And one thing I want to tell people, especially the youth, that listen to these programs, even though you may not be the starter, when it's time for your name to be called, be ready to go. Absolutely. I'm going to tell you something. The key player for Indiana this year was number 80, Becker.
Yes.
Being one of our special teams player, I watched that Penn State Indiana game. Surratt didn't play that game. Becker stepped up for that game. He stepped up big time. And now it's like, all right, they got 3 quality receivers. I think they're going to win it this year. When they beat Penn State, that's when I knew if you go to an environment like Penn State and when your best receiver ain't playing, and then just think about it, your best defensive lineman, he got injured after they won a Big Ten title. He couldn't play all playoffs. So when it's your time to be called, be ready to go. Signetti. And think about this too. I don't think there's so many crazy stats with Indiana. This is one of the best coached teams ever. I don't think they had a lot of penalties this year, in which, like penalty yardage.
Right.
The penalty yardage, it was shocking. I think the only fumble that they had may have been the first game of the season that they lost. And they just played sound football all year. And when they had to pour it on the teams, they poured on them. When they had to win a close games, they won a close game. So, Western Pennsylvania represented with Signetti,
right?
His IUP connections. Mike Shanahan, the offensive coordinator, he played at Pitt. He's from Norway. And then Mark Cuban, he gonna put money behind them because he ain't, control of the Mavs no more. So he gonna put money behind his alma mater, the Indiana Hoosiers. So it's good for college football. I actually got tired of seeing the Alabamas, the Clemsons, the Georgias, Ohio State winning all the time. It's good to have new blood in it. It makes it better. So that's all I'll say about that. In regards to the Steelers, not living in Pittsburgh no more, it's just a shame just hearing from stuff with the local media. I guess one of the radio stations in Pittsburgh, the sports radio station in Pittsburgh, I guess from what I was hearing, they were upset that Tomlin resigned instead of the Steelers firing him.
Right.
And I've heard this from all types of people in society, not just black, more than black people say that. And unfortunately, it just goes to show you what they thought of Tomlin there. Tomlin did right by resigning. It was his time to resign. One thing I will say is, whoever that a-hole is, I'm not going to cuss with you, but whoever that a-hole is, that showed up outside his house with the bullhorn.
Oh,
he needs to reevaluate his life, because he wouldn't like if somebody showed up to his place of residence or his mother or father's place of residence and do the same thing to them.
Yeah, so, Sean, that was disgusting. I mean, it really was.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna give credit to Bob Pompiani and his show on this past Saturday. Stackhouse brought it up to me, but I heard it as well. there's a caller that calls in all the time, and the caller tried to insinuate a bad rumor, and I'm glad they cut the caller out before he could even say it. And I'm saying to myself, dude, you call it all the time, and you gonna bring that up. I'm not gonna talk about the rumor, because when Kyrie resigned, the same rumors were said about him, and there was other rumors said about Kyrie in regards to certain things that I'm not gonna get into. But it just seems like the local media in Pittsburgh and the local fans in Pittsburgh, it's like they want to dictate what these coaches to do. No, these coaches, they coach, but they have families. It's okay for them to resign. The Steelers are going to go forward without Mike Tomlin being fired. If they're going to go forward with him resigning. Now, what happens, and like I've been talking about, we'll see what happens. Only thing I'm going to do is just sit back and try to support whoever the next head coach is. The standard is the standard. You know what the Roonies have said about what they want to do.
I like that one there.
You better be ready to win. So.
Got to be ready to win, man. Listen, I hope the next coach, is putting the media in a place like Tomlin used to when they would start asking dumb questions, because a lot of the media, they're just there, for quotes, trying to go viral for all the wrong reasons. So I hope the next coach is putting them in place just like Tomlin used to.
Pryor from ESPN, Luther's going to miss him.
Oh my gosh.
You're right. but yeah, we'll see. But hey, Sean, now who did you say you thought the next coach would be? What did you say?
I didn't say it. The reason why I didn't say it is because it may be somebody come out of left field. I just guess that I guess they're waiting to interview guys from the Rams, who I think out of all the four teams, if the Rams don't win the Super Bowl, something's wrong. I think they should win it. We'll see how that plays out.
I got them losing this to the Seahawks.
Yeah.
I think the defense is rolling right now. Sam Darnold usually chokes in the playoffs, but with that defense, all he has to do is not make mistakes and
manage the game. Be done with
the game. Be a game manager.
Well, every Monday, I listen to Rodney Pete's show on AM 570 out in LA. It's called Rogan and Rodney.
Okay.
They have Eric Dickerson on there every Monday. He calls himself the Round Ambassador, Eric Dickerson. All-time running back. And
I like that.
One thing he said about the Rams and Seahawks this year is that the first game at Los Angeles, Seattle should have won the game, but the Rams won it. The second time, I think that was in December, the Rams should have won the game. They were up like 16 in the fourth quarter. He said the players was on the sideline, got complacent. Seahawks came back. I don't know if they won the game of overtime or not, but ever since that game, Seattle's been on a roll.
Yes, they have been. I knew. Listen, when they played, I figured those two teams would match up again. I mean, that was the best game of the season with the overtime.
That was a Thursday night game, right? Wasn't that a Thursday night game?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a Thursday night game. And, So I think it's going to be another good game, but I think Seattle's just on another level right now. All levels. They have a top receiver, one running back, Ken Walker the second. Unfortunately, they're back up towards ACL. And he won't be
Charbonnet from Michigan.
Yeah. That's a big loss, but they at least have their number one back. Strong offensive line, and their defense is probably the second best I've seen behind Houston. So we'll see. So you got the Rams beating the Seahawks in that one. What about in the other playoffs? Patriots, Broncos.
I think everybody's saying that the Patriots should beat the Broncos. The Patriots' offense ain't been looking good in the playoffs. They have not been looking good. They could have lost either game if either of the teams would have had any lick of offense. But we'll see. Jarrett Stidham, here's the irony. I think he was drafted by the Patriots.
He was.
Yeah, Belichick.
Yep.
So wouldn't it be ironic he kept them from going to the Super Bowl?
That would be insane. That would be
That's a great story.
Great story, yeah, and storyline sells, but I don't see that happening. You know, I don't know if they're going to try to bring. I thought they might bring in your boy from the Chargers again with all the kids. Play for 2 different teams, but Cam Newton was still out there. I said, would they give him a flyer? Try to pick him as a backup? We'll see, but it's just bad news. I feel bad for Bo Nix. He definitely outplayed Josh Allen. Man, Josh Allen, is he going to take any heat? I mean, all I see is the media talking about the interception that shouldn't have been or could have been, who knows, but they're not in that position if Josh Allen isn't fumbling and turning the ball over. This play before halftime where he's running, got the ball like a loaf of bread, and then throws it, fumbles it 20 yards back. That was the game because they lost by 3, and the Broncos kicked a field goal because of that turnover. But he needs to take more heat. He's a veteran. He's choked plenty of times in the playoffs. You know, give him the same heat that you give C.J. Stroud
and Lamar Jackson,
or Peyton Manning before he got, before he won it. But he gets no heat. Got his coach fired. That's another job. You know, what is the best opening job right now? The Ravens, the Bills. Where would you rank those, Sean? I want to go around the panel though.
Ravens, Bills, Steelers, Raiders, Dolphins. Unless the Dolphins hired on the guy, Jeff.
Jeff Heffley, defensive coordinator.
Yeah, Jeff Heffley,
yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Tom Brady's running the Raiders. He shouldn't be broadcasting games.
Right.
I definitely agree. That's a conflict.
Right. Yes.
But Brady, just like, he shouldn't have been deflating balls or doing Spygate. Him and Belichick got away with a whole lot, and he's still getting away with a whole lot. Nobody wants to talk about it, but it's the truth.
Well, here's the thing about the jobs. With Tomlin leaving, it may be depending who the coach is, Steelers may be in a redevelopment mode because some players may retire or they may say, hey, we got to cut these players and let them just move on. So they may be in a rebuild mode for the next 3 years. The Ravens, Lamar Jackson can't help that a kicker missed the field goal to make the playoffs. Lamar Jackson can't help Mark Andrews to drop key passes in games.
Todd Monken made some bad play calls too, Sean.
No. Let me finish. Lamar Jackson can't help that Zay Flowers drops a ball in the AFC Championship game taken against. So what I'm getting at is, yes, it is bad play calling. I do agree with that because they should have been giving him the ball more than they did. Could that be the team? But the thing is, a lot of people think the Ravens defense isn't that good. Now,
that's what I'm saying. That the defense needs a lot of work, but the offense can be explosive. They need one more receiver and maybe an adjustment on the offensive line, but their defense is pretty bad. I don't know if it's or what.
Now I'm gonna say this: Pagulia, he's the money man. He's the reason why Penn State's hockey program is D1. I think I may have told you that story before, but
right.
Pagulia Pavilion is what built Penn State ice hockey arena. His daughter's a tennis player, probably down in the Australian Open right now, playing. I don't know what happened in the press conference today, but from reading things, they said it was a mess in regards to what he was saying. I guess he fired McDermott in the locker room after the game.
Dang.
Listen, while you're saying that, we got my man, the Underground. He said Bills owner shady as F. Did you see his press conference today? Yes. Yeah, that was bad. Then they talked about Coleman, the receiver, how it was the coaching staff that pushed him on him. Man, Coleman got to ask to get out of there. If the owner's saying stuff like that and the GM, I hope they trade him for that young man's career. He's made some mistakes, but the team's not backing him up at all. There's no reason that his name should have come up the way it did in the press conference. Like you said, the whole press conference was wild. And if they fired him in the locker room like that, that's even worse.
Yes. Let me finish with two things because I know y'all got callers calling in too. Well, three things. This weekend, if you are out and about, please be safe. Weather's going to be bad, like from Texas, from New Mexico, Texas, all the way to the Northeast. Mm-hmm. Please be careful if you are out and about this weekend. Due to my job, as I told y'all, I'm probably going to be working overtime this weekend. So please be careful, y'all out on the roads. Second, Frank Signetti, as you used to say, you deserve credit. Frank Signetti went to Nick Saban and said, I want to be a head coach. I guess Saban wanted him to stay. Signetti bet on himself, went back to IUP, and IUP, Elon James Madison, Indiana University, national champions. You bet on yourself. So if you got confidence to bet on yourself, bet on yourself. Finally, I don't think I talked about this. Rich Paul is negative. If I played for and Luther, remember when I was telling you about Bronny James?
Yeah.
Certain things, this is what I mean. Rich Paul has no right to be saying that a team should be traded, a player should be traded on a team which his number one client, LeBron James, is on that team.
Yeah, it's a bad look, man. You shouldn't. There's an agent should be doing a podcast where he's talking about athletes on, client teams. That's inappropriate. It's a conflict, and it just looks bad, man. He's, I always supported him. I don't support this at all. You can't be doing that. It just causes dissension on the team.
Like I remember they said back in the day about the Tony Braxton thing with the 3 J's in Dallas with Jim Jackson,
Jamal Mashburn.
This is worse than that. Because whatever happened with that stuff with Tony Braxton, that happened, whatever.
Right.
But for you as an agent to come and say that on a podcast, oh, this player should be traded.
Yeah, Rich Paul he's on some wild stuff.
He's lucky that player didn't go off on him, because if it was me, I would tell the Lakers, listen, something got to be done. Like that's uncalled for. Because if he's saying that out in the public, and we know agents, they do their jobs, they do a lot of stuff backdoor.
Right.
Everything don't got to be in the public, and for you to say that, would you want to be a GM now?
Right. Well, apparently he does. It looks like he lost a little bit of power with the Lakers, and I don't think he's happy about it, him or Braun, because the Luka trade was done without them knowing it. They traded AD, got Luka, and they weren't involved. So I think there's been a rift ever since then. But Rich Paul got to do better. That's unacceptable. I heard that Austin Rivers. I heard that Austin's agent stepped to Rich Paul out of game. He did step to him. I don't know what was done. No punches were thrown like Fletcher did at Miami, but he did step to him and talk to him about saying it. So we'll see if he says it again. But you're right, Sean. That should never happen, man. Austin Reeves didn't deserve that.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's just, I guess this is their society. Everybody got running social media and put their business out instead of running. Hey, everything don't need to be said.
Facts. Hey, sure, man. Appreciate the call. We got a couple more we have to get to, man. Appreciate that.
All right, guys. Like I said, have a good weekend and just be safe in y'all travels this weekend, guys.
For sure.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean.
Hey, he frees up a line. Jim, do you want to jump in before this next call, man? Rich was going in. He said he'll take Coleman and the Bird. Underground said he wants Coleman and the Bird. Listen, we just got off George Pickens. We just had DK Metcalf punch a fan. And you would have bring in Coleman? No. There's rookies in the draft that don't have character flaws. They have to grab one of them. That's my choice. Smoker Jim, you want to add some stuff to this and give your predictions too in the Seahawks 49ers game?
Yeah, I've been on the phone for an hour and you're just coming to me. But a question that you asked about a half hour ago: what is the best job opening in the National Football League? It's Buffalo Bills, because they got the franchise quarterback and Josh Allen. You go there, you can win right away. Maybe you win the Super Bowl right away. So I think the Steelers got to be very careful, because if their number one guy is Chris Fuller, and if Chris Fuller comes available, it comes down to between Pittsburgh and Buffalo. Pittsburgh and League comes to Buffalo.
Listen, Buffalo's about to go through some financial difficulties. They're going to have to cut some people. It's not as sweet as you think. They have some holes on the defense. They need a receiver, and they have some financial issues that are about to hit. So I don't know if that's the best job. I still say the best job is the Ravens' job. I mean, you got Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, and you got Kyle Hamilton on defense. That's the best job available still as I look at this. But
that's a good point too. My mind and time, in my opinion, but I think both of those are very good jobs. I mean, you make a very, very, very good controlling argument there. But I think it's 1-1 or 1-2, man. Those are really good jobs. So Pittsburgh, the bottom line is Pittsburgh got to be very, very careful trying to wait out selecting their next head coach, because they could lose it to the Ravens or Buffalo. And Buffalo will have as many problems as you think they do. Their biggest problem is their general manager. That's who should have got fired.
Or Josh Allen with those 4 turnovers.
No, Josh Allen was MVP of the league.
Well, he was the MVP. He was the MVP for Denver Broncos this past weekend, Jim. So I don't like turnover kings. I didn't like C.J. Stroud either. Oh God!
He's a great player, man. He's a great player. He's a Hall of Fame player. He's the best they've had down there since Jim Kelly and Jack Kemp.
I agree with that. Yeah, but he's a turnover machine, and he chokes in the playoffs every year, Jim. I mean, the facts are the facts. The facts are the facts. I mean, come on, Jim. What do you want? This guy's running down the field, just throwing the ball away.
Lamar Jackson chokes too. Lamar Jackson.
They've both. But yes, and Lamar Jackson gets smoke every year for choking, and Josh Allen doesn't. They both,
He got hardball fired.
Well, McDermott got fired. They both of their coaches got fired.
Josh Allen didn't do that.
Well, listen, did his coach get fired?
Lamar,
This coach.
always spoke out. Josh Allen always spoke out with Lamar Jackson.
Hey, it is what it is. I think Harbaugh is a very overrated coach, and I think he'll get exposed at the New York Giants this year. You know,
After he won the Super Bowl.
He's not winning the Super Bowl with the Giants. That roster is far from a Super Bowl roster. We don't know if their quarterback, Jackson Dart, who you had number 1, we don't know if he's Josh Allen or if he's Tua. He's getting concussions this first year like he's Tua. He's had 6 concussions, Jim. His career may be short. So I don't know. Hey, real quick. Hey, I love Scottaboo, but he's coming off a bad knee injury. You know,
yeah.
We don't know how he's going to return. You know, so they have a lot of work to do there. But I think he'll get exposed there. He won't have Lamar Jackson able to save him anymore. But Underground said, let's do both. Breaking news. Yeah, we talked about this, Pensman. He signed with an extension with the Vikings, and he said unless he gets a head coaching job. All right. Underground, both of them quarterbacks got the coaches fired. I feel you on that. Hey, we got another caller, Mark Brentley. Mark, what's on your mind, Mark?
Mark.
Hey, gentlemen. Hey, gang. What's happening? I know you're getting ready to go off. I'm going to ask a couple quick questions, and then I'm going to hang up and listen to your response. Number 1, I heard in the news that Danny Smith, special teams coach, was leaving and was signing on with somewhere. I'm just curious. what kind of money do special teams coaches make, and what kind of contract did he get? And he's really enthusiastic on the side, and maybe that's what they were looking for. Secondly, in the news, they interviewed Cam Haywood, and Cam shared a 20-second conversation he had with Mike Tomlin, and he said that out of all the stuff that was going on, Mike had made a comment, something to the effect of, "Hey, I didn't break Chuck Noll's record, or I'm glad I tied Chuck Noll's record." Now, here's my piece: is what if those 2 games that they were booing, fire Mike Tomlin, what if that really pierced his heart? I know he's hard and he's tough and he's a player's coach and that whole bit, but what if that pierced his heart to a point where he said, "You know what? If they're booing me for losing these 2 games, I wonder what they would do if I broke the record." And here I am here. Of course, race is always at the forefront when you're dealing with the issues here in this city. Curious, love to hear your comments on it. I'll hang up and listen. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Mark.
Appreciate your call, Mark. Yeah, Mark brings up some good points.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ralph. You want to jump in on that one?
Yeah, well, I agree with Mark. I did hear from a couple of my sources that the screaming and hollering from the fans got to him a little bit. The media, some other things got to him. There was a lot of different things that were brought up that forced his hand to retire as well. And that could be that he was disgusted with the Steeler fans that they would do that to him after all the years that he put in blood, sweat, and tears with the Steelers coaching the team. And, that could be something that, comes to haunt the Steeler fans, is the fact that they chased this guy away because they yelled and screamed to have him fired, show up at his house and, and everything else. And, that's just sad. And, if anyone says Steeler fans are great fans, I don't know. So, but one other thing too, breaking news here from the NFL Network. As soon as the playoff game is over Eric Bieniemy has been re-signed with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, he should have never left. He should have never left. I was saying he should have stayed there until Andy Reid retired. Then he could jump right up there. I think he left prematurely, and he's back again. Who knows? Andy Reid, it looks like they may have a bad year next year. No Patrick Mahomes. He may step down, and Eric Bieniemy may be right there to take the job, and Mahomes is coming back.
That's the only organization that can tolerate Eric Bieniemy's attitude.
Yeah, he wears on everybody else. I saw him getting on the running backs in Chicago, and they were looking like, "Oh, not again." So
kind of looks like Lovie Smith with a pot belly, doesn't he?
Eric, man, hey, I love him as running back.
I mean, the latest picture I saw, he looks like Lovie Smith with a pot belly. I actually thought it was Lovie Smith there for a minute.
Listen, one thing as we talk about Tom before you get to LD is, not only the guy showing up his house, but also the verbal and threats that his wife and daughter were getting.
Family, yes. Yeah, absolutely.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Well, showing up at his house, the verbal. His wife had to close her store down a couple times for safety reasons, and his daughter's away in Georgia, trying to do her gymnastics, and she's very talented. As Thomas said, she's the best athlete in the family. I agree. I'm sure Jim would agree with it, the way he talks about the sons. But she's a tremendous athlete. It was good to see Tomlin there smiling, gets to follow her career as a gymnast. So I'm excited. Look for him to be on TV. He's going to do wonders there. I think he's made for TV, and I don't think he'll ever coach again, nor would I. I mean, 19 years in one place is a lot of stress, and I don't think the Steelers fans appreciated him the way he should, and I don't think he had all the power that some of the other coaches had. If he did, for 2 years in a row, you don't have a wide receiver number 2. You can't win when you don't get an offensive game. You have to get a wide receiver number 2. Fillmore. Jim, you want to say something before we get to LD as our last caller?
All right, so I'm actually about to go, guys. I just got a message. We are going to my podcast. You had to be their podcast. We are going to interview Zab Judah in about 15 minutes. I got to check out.
All right. Hey, what's the state? What is it that people need to say? Say it again so we can check it out.
You had to be their podcast.
All right.
So about 15 minutes. I'm hitting up Zab Judah right now. That's the phone. My phone keep buzzing right now. So I'm gonna holler at y'all.
All right, man. Appreciate it. We'll check you out on the You Had to Be There podcast. I'll put the link in the chat. All right. Good stuff. All right. Smoking Jim, your thoughts as we get to this.
What's Fillmore running to?
They're going to interview Zab Judah on You Had to Be There. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Yeah. He got to come on. He got to come on Steel City next. One of my favorites. But go ahead, Jim. Your thoughts on Tomlin. You want to add anything before we get to LD?
I would just add that Mike McCarthy will have another 2 wide receivers.
Let's hope he does. They're going to draft one this year. All right, LD.
Yes.
Thanks for the call, LD. What's on your mind?
I just have one comment I want to make. The next coach of the Steelers next year might not even have a winning record because their division is going to be really tough. The Ravens will be tough.
Right. The Bengals will be.
Cleveland's going to be tough.
Right.
Hey, LD, don't forget.
And Steelers will not be as tough, in my opinion.
Right. Hey, Jim said something. Say it again, Jim.
That would be something if that next coach has a losing record.
I think the chances are great he could have a losing record. Go ahead, Jim.
LD, since the Steelers won their division, they got to play all the division champions next year. And the schedule's going to be brutal. You're right, LD. They got to play every division champion. That's the rules now. If you win your division, the next season you got to play every division champion. So the schedule's going to be outrageous.
And the team I didn't mention was Cincinnati. I think they're going to be tough next year.
If they get a defense, I thought they should have fired their coach.
Yeah, so did I. Yeah, I thought he was on a hot seat.
I don't know what he has on the ownership, but I thought for sure he was going, Ralph. I mean, wow.
Yeah, well, they said that they told him to fire his assistants or they were going to fire him, so he fired his assistants. So yeah.
And as I close, I think Shula's going to be the coach.
Who, Chris Shula?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I remember a month ago they were talking about him possibly replacing Tomlin before we knew he was going to step down. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, and I think that pass game coordinator guy's going to be the offensive coordinator if Shula gets that job.
Police, yeah. Definitely. What else is on your mind, LD? Who you got in the Seahawks versus the Rams in the third game of the season?
I think the Rams are going to win it.
Oh, really? Okay. I'm going with the Seahawks. I'm going with the
Seahawks too. Yes, I am.
I think it's going to be a rematch of the Seahawks versus Patriots Super Bowl of a couple years ago, where Pete Carroll refused to give it the beast mode at the half-yard line, and Wilson threw a slant for an interception. Something was up with that game. You got beast mode at the half-yard line, and you don't give them the ball. Something was up with that. And, of course, it went in Tom Brady's favor. I still have my thoughts on that, but it's going to be a rematch, I believe. Who you got, LD? From the
I said the Rams. I think the Rams will win it.
Okay, how about the Patriots?
It'll be a close game, I think. It'll be a close game.
What about the Patriots and Broncos?
I don't like either team. But I'll take the Broncos.
Okay. All right.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Yes, sir. All right.
You guys have a nice week.
All right. Thanks for the call, LD.
Thank you, LD.
All right. Smoker Jim, what do you have? What do you have for this?
I'm with you, Lou. I got New England Patriots beating Denver. Even though I do like the backup quarterback for Denver, he's pretty good. And I also have Seattle winning. I think the Rams is too banged up, and Devontae Adams looked like a shot player.
He made a heck of a catch last game.
He made one catch. Yeah, he made one catch. Shot player.
Oh man, he took a hit, man. Hey, real quick, one player I wanted to talk about, man. Your thoughts about Caleb Williams, Smoking Jim. You sold on him? Is he the franchise now?
My goodness, that throw he made. I didn't know if it was him or franchise. That was an outstanding throw, man.
Yeah.
You got to give him all the credit in the world. The boy, I always feel I've never seen a quarterback who can manipulate a pocket better than him, man. He's just going to continue to get better and better if he stays healthy. If he stays healthy, they're going to continue to put the weapons around him, man. So I'm very proud of that young man. I wish I had stock in his pedicure and nail shop.
Nail shop. Yeah, he got the best nails in the NFL. But I mean, the man can run. That throw, I don't think I've ever seen something like that. And I really think he could throw more. But he was at the 20, ran all the way back to the 50-yard line and unleashed a bomb. We're showing it right now, Jim. It was unbelievable. I got both angles, the end zone angle, and from just amazing, man. I think it's going to be something special. They could have easily lost to the Packers earlier, but it was amazing. Listen, man. Any final thoughts, Ralph? Give me your prediction.
I'm taking Seattle and New England as well.
Okay.
I believe that's going to be the Super Bowl. I do agree with you on that, Luther. My final thoughts are this is going to be an interesting weekend for these games. We will find out. Seattle and the Rams have had 2 dogfights this season, and both of them, they won. Each one of them split their game. Seattle won one, and the Rams won the other. They were both in overtime.
Yeah.
So this game could go in overtime. So that could happen as well. And stay tuned for Saturday's Sports Corner radio show. We have a special announcement that we're going to make for involving Sports Corner. So radio show. So that's Saturday. 3 p.m.
Best radio show on
12 p.m. The Answer.
1250. Yes. The link will be in Still City Facebook page, on the website as well. RW Media. Check it out. Any final thoughts, Smoking Jim?
No.
No. No.
Listen, I want to thank all the callers, man. Thank everybody who tapped in. Make sure you check out You Gotta Be There podcast. They're interviewing one of my favorite boxers. You had to be Zab Judah. You Had to Be There podcast. Type it in. I'll try to put the link in the chat as well. But it should be a great interview. Got some great things. We're looking to have some.
I just got word, Luther. Terrell Austin has been hired as the head coach of the Cleveland Browns.
Oh gosh. I believe it's going to be Jim Schwartz. Nobody wants that Cleveland job. He did a great job.
Mike McDaniel to turn that down, man.
For offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I guess he wants to work with Justin Herbert, who I think is the most overrated young quarterback in the league.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Yeah,
maybe Mike McDaniel could do some wonders with him, and we'll see. But they go to the playoffs and get destroyed every time. So
no, I'm sorry. Arthur Smith is taking that job too. They're going to be co-head coaches. There you go.
Hey, listen, man, check us out Wednesday. Check out the website scsportsworld.com. Appreciate all you guys. Check out Sports Corner.
Be safe, please. With this bad weather, please be safe.
Yes. All right, guys.
Have a great one. Thank you.